Welcome to Sunfire Designs. Today I am going to be working on a fantasy flower. I have mixed up 160 ml of Judiction resin, and then I have divided it up into different portions. I have a small amount that is a brown, and then another amount that is a pink, and then finally a small amount that is silver, gold. I also have my white pigment paste, which I just added the drops to, so it's just turning white. Added it and forgot to stir it before I turned the camera on. It's in the middle of the night. I guess it's like 1:40 here. Last thing I want to do before I go to bed. I was falling asleep, but I just couldn't get my idea out of my brain. So I have a white here. It's not opaque, but it's not transparent. It's kind of in between. And then finally, I have the remainder of this is black. You can barely tell it's black. It looks almost like a clear with a gray tinge. What I used for all these things, I used for the brown, I used Daler-Rowney. This is Burnt Umber. I also used a drop of Let's Resin Brown pigment paste. For the pink, I used Artist's Loft Pink Rose, which I had to accentuate with the Liquitex Quinacridone Magenta because this was too pale. It was see-through and it was pale and it just was taking a lot of it, and I didn't want to weigh things down. The black is done by Let's Resin Black Pigment Paste. You can see that's had better days. And then the mica powder is Curate and Color Mica Powder Gold. And then also last thing, Casting Craft white opaque pigment. And then I have a little bee to put in the center. If it looks like it's gonna work, I'll put the bee in the center. So I'm gonna start off with the pink, and I'm not sure if I even have the right proportions for this. I'm using Julie Cutts Cascade mold, which I'm gonna tell you has to be my favorite mold of all time of hers. I've had a couple not quite successful pours for this, but it's all little things that if I had just done it the way I used to do it, that probably would have worked okay, but for whatever reason I did not. Oh, hold on. My cup went right over my trash can and into my dish pan. I have a bucket set aside that has all the dishes, resin dishes I need to wash, and so it went right into that, which would not have been good. All right, now I'm going to add the brown in the center, and I just think that the brown would look really good with the gold. And then brown also, I like brown with pink. I don't know why, but I think pink and brown look nice together. So, and it might be that we won't even be able to see the pink by the time everything else gets added in. It tends to get a little lost because it's not as deep as some of the other colors. The pink isn't. All right, so now I'm going to add my gold. Just going to pour that into the center. Okay, I'm not going to scrape up too much of it because I know that I've got more than enough there. All right, and then finally I'm going to use my white to do rings. Obviously I need to get some more butane for this. I'm making sure that I'm doing this quickly, not staying in any one spot very long, just enough to get that kind of the bubbles out. All right, so now I am going to make my shapes in here in the Cascade mold. We're going to be doing petals that look like the dragon flower petals, and I don't know if they will work or not. I have not tried to do this technique with a fantasy flower on this new mold, so it might turn out to be bleh, or it might turn out to be amazing. You never know. You can never tell. I am not going to change the direction of the petals. I'm going to keep going in the same direction all the way throughout. Usually in the dragon flower, you flip it back and forth about which ones you're going to use. And so you might go one direction one way, and then another direction another way. But not for this. All right, so now I'm going to let it sit for a second and kind of move in. Hopefully it does so. My resin doesn't seem to be moving super fast, but maybe we can get something going here. I can kind of see it starting to move. You can feel free to fast forward me if you haven't done that already. I know that this isn't super exciting for some people, but it is starting to close in right here. The gold, not so much, but usually we don't put anything on the gold anyway, so it's just, you know, it is what it is. So we're waiting just a second for that to come. I have an itch. All right, what do you guys think? I feel like it's still moving. Just a little bit. I mean, I just want to make it clear that you can do this at any time, but I'm just waiting. All right, so I think it's long enough. So I am going to do this. Make sure you anchor these to the edge so that they stay where they're supposed to be and don't get washed away. I have found out that works the best for this kind of petal. You want to make sure it sticks to the sides. So excited for this to come out. I really hope it comes out amazing. I have to wait to make more fairy flowers until I get some more Resin Pro, Art Pro from Resin Pro. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to dump my clear black in there. This is starting to warm up, so hopefully I didn't wait too long. I'm just going to dump it right in the center. I'm not scraping it out or anything. And then really quickly, while it's starting to close, I am going to put my bee in there. Now, I don't know if it will show up or not. It just depends on the resin, what it's doing, but I am going to put that. I believe that's the center. Hopefully my resin cooperates and agrees with me that that's the center. And I'm going to torch, and that's it. We won't know what it looks like until tomorrow after it cures. Probably first thing in the morning when I get up, I will put it on the heat mat just to make sure that it gets a chance to cure faster. I don't like to move it while it's still vulnerable. Like, I would never move it right now. It's just too iffy on whether I should move it or not. I think the bumblebee looks like it's in a good place. And now we wait. All right, I will see you when it's time to unmold. Thanks for being here. See you soon. Okay, it's time to unmold. Let's see what we got. Please, please, please be something cool. I really hope so. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. That came out really cool. I like it. It's got the little bee in the center. I wish the bee center had closed up, but I see why it didn't, because it didn't want to touch the bee. That came out really cool. I love it. What do you guys think? Let me know what you think. I'll take a picture of it and put it at the end so you can see it in the sun. It's really cool. It's got really tiny like petals / striations. It looks really cool. Super cool. Let me know what you think. Thank you for joining me, and I will see you next time. Bye.